Hello, 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 and greetings and salutations and all of that good old jive. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another live episode. Welcome to my safe Gavin. Apologize for the kind of late start, but not that late because I did move it to 7:15. So technically, I'm on time. So there you go. Thank you guys for joining us. I don't know if you guys got the notification that it was moved to 7:15 because I checked on my thing, it didn't pop up. So I guess assuming that's the 7 people that are in here, I see you guys must have got the notification. So I appreciate you for being here. If this is your first live stream, my name is Michael, BlackGayComicGeek. If you don't already know, all my social medias are in the link in the description below. But as I usually do these lives, I don't do these lives by myself. I like to have a little friend, special guest here. He's not really a special guest anymore. He's allowed to go in the fridge now anytime he comes over. But yeah, let's bring on Ron from You Don't Read Comics. Hey.
What's up, man? Little friend is like your mother says, I'm not one of your little friends. Don't play with me.
You're not a friend no more. Be like, yeah, can I get something to drink? Yeah, the fridge. You already know where the fridge is. Go to the fridge. But just like yesterday, everybody's live is because be somebody's first live. So introduce yourself. Tell them who you are. See, look at it. Like beautiful this one. Hey, friend, first live viewing. Been a fan for a while. Really appreciate your culture analysis. Well, thank you for being here. So yeah, first live. So introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Ron. I run a website called You Don't Read Comics. I just focus on the reviews of the comics that come out weekly. And comic book news. I run the website and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. You can find me. You Don't Read Comics. And
the link for his website is in the description below, so definitely check that out. Lots of comic reviews. Like he's like who's like the greatest rapper of all time.
That's a whole different, so somebody try to fight us if you say anybody. So I'm not even gonna start that.
The Nas of comics.
Nas is a safe pick. I think most people like Nas.
Yeah, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
But we are here, if you couldn't tell from the title, to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League, not the 2017 Justice League, although we will compare. Mm-hmm. But the Snyder Cut. So again, if you have not seen the Snyder Cut or you don't care about spoilers, you can stay. But if you do care about spoilers, time to get up on out here because we're gonna spoil we're gonna splooge all over this whole live stream. So yeah, but also with that, we're gonna while we're talking, if you do have a comment or question or anything like that, this is a live stream, so we're not the only ones that are going to be doing this. So your participation is greatly appreciated. Like, think of us as the lightsaber and you guys are the Jedi. So if you got something that you want to get out to us, or maybe it's something that we talk about that we miss, hit us up in the live stream. But if you really want to get something to our attention that maybe we're not paying attention or we miss, it's not expected, but it's greatly appreciated. If you leave us a super chat, it is the lifeblood of the channel. Like I said, it's not expected. It's appreciated if you decide to do that. But Ron, let's jump on into Justice League, the Snyder Cut. So we're not here all freaking day because I know you're tired. I'm tired. I'm hungry.
It was 4 hours. You're like, it was legit 4 hours. Like there was no.
Yeah, it was 4 hours. But the beautiful thing about it is because you're at home, you can pause it.
Yeah.
Go and plus it's broken up into parts. So yeah, you could. There's like they purposely gave you time to like. Or spots to like pause it or anything like that. But yeah, what did your brief thoughts?
It definitely added a lot more context that we didn't get to see in the original cut of the film, the Whedon/Snyder cut. Cyborg got a lot more. Steppenwolf got a lot more, and we saw a little bit more Flash, and a lot of things moved around. But it's essentially the same film.
Yeah, pretty much. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, because part of the reason why, granted, I know some of it was because Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide, but also I read a thing that WB wasn't satisfied with the movie and was part of the reason why they were glad to kind of push him out. And then
definitely because he had already done Man of Steel, which kind of didn't do as good as they wanted, and he'd done BBS, which got bombed. So,
but at the same time, I'm like, after seeing this movie and then comparing it to the 2017 movie, I'm like, it's pretty much the same movie. So what was it that WB wasn't satisfied with? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it's also like maybe there might have been something else that he didn't have before. He had the time to like adjust. He had already seen Justice League come out, the reviews of Justice League, what people thought was wrong with Justice League, and he got to adjust on top of that, you know? So like, it's like if somebody cooks something for you and you're like, this needs more salt, and they make it again and they add a little bit more salt, you know?
Yeah, you
are they really a good cook or
I mean, it'll be good enough for now. That's actually a good analogy. I like that. See, it's why I got you on the show. But real quick, let me address this real quick. Thank you so much for the 13 people that are joining. I see we got Light Fam, Bam Bam. Thank you so much for joining. I already mentioned Beautifulest One. Thank you so much for joining. Jessica D, I see you said you haven't had time to watch the new one yet. Well, we're gonna spoil the whole thing, so hopefully you don't mind the spoilers. But regardless, thank you for joining the live stream. Love one another. I see you in here. Thank you so much for joining. Fuck Joss Whedon and WB. Hey guys, how you doing? True. Yes, I completely agree with that. And for those of you that are in the stream that haven't left a comment, thank you so much for being here. I see you. I hear you. If you left a comment, but yeah. So me, I actually really enjoyed this this version of Zack the Justice League movie. Like I feel like.
Did you enjoy the original Justice League movie?
No.
Okay.
I would probably like give it like a no. Okay, I'll give it this way. I enjoyed the Justice League movie more than I enjoyed BVS. But I still didn't think it was that good of a movie. I was like, okay, I could kind of see like them fixing it. Yeah, fixing it. But like at the same time, it was just like, this is a Justice League movie. Like this should be way better. Like I should be leaving the movie theater hyped as hell. And I wasn't. I was just like, it was better than BVS, but like,
yeah.
But once you get to this movie, I was just like, oh, this is like night and day compared to BVS. And not even just the fact that, yeah, of course you would think any movie, you get another 4 hours, you get to add a whole bunch of stuff. So by default, naturally you would think it would be a better movie. But no, because you think of a 4-hour movie, like it could have dragged. There could have been a lot of moments where I'm just like, they could have cut this, they could have cut this, they could have cut this. And for the most part, there were a couple scenes where I was just like, this was stupid. But overall, the things that were added, the character moments, the cyborg stuff, like I enjoyed what I got. And overall, I felt like I didn't necessarily feel the 4 hours of the movie.
You didn't? I did.
Not fully. And I think part of it maybe because I did pause it at a certain times because my phone rang or my mother would call me. So yeah, I did pause it at times, but even then I still just wasn't like, all right, how much time I got left? No, I was just like, I'm here for it. But yeah, let's crack this thing open. So how did you feel about the opening sequence?
The opening sequence. What was the opening sequence again?
The opening sequence. It was like the ending of BVS.
Oh yeah, it was. I think that was cool, kind of like letting you know that it was a sequel. Pretty much. I mean, the effects were cool. The cinematography was cool. But once again, it's not anything new. But it was a different way of opening compared to what Joss Whedon did.
Yes, I agree. And welcome, Furner. I think I said that. Thank you for joining your first live stream. And you're in the middle of watching a Snyder Cut right now. Well, hopefully you're not in the beginning because that's what we're talking about. So hopefully you're way past that. So as we talk about the beginning. But yeah, this is the thing I like about Snyder in general, even though I don't necessarily like a lot of his movies. Like in terms of visuals,
exactly.
He is awesome when it comes to visuals. Like he should have been a cinematographer because when it comes to capturing, especially comic book moments on the page, like he does it beautifully. But this is the problem that I had with especially when it came to the beginning of this moment. It kind of reminded me of what I felt when it came to Batman v Superman, where it's like yeah, you captured the moments very beautifully, but then it was like there was no substance to it. And this is kind of
exactly.
and this is
Like
something
you did this moment, but what does this moment mean in terms of these characters? Like, why should I care?
And this was kind of a concern that I had going into this movie because, again, it literally reminded me of my reaction to BVS. Well, as soon as BVS started, I was like, oh, this is beautiful. The music and the score and the way this is shot. I'm like, this movie's going to be awesome. It's the same, but then it was like that moment where Bruce started flying with the bats.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah. And that was the first moment I was like, what the fuck? And then we'll getting through the rest of BVS. I just had a lot of those moments. And it's the same thing that happened in this. I was like, this is beautiful. But then when Superman's voice started reverberating through the planet, like as if he has sound wave type powers.
A big problem is they never. And that's one thing that Joss Whedon tried to do with his opening scenes. They never made us love Superman. Like when Doomsday killed Superman in BVS, I was just like, who is Superman? Like they didn't make us love. He wasn't like important, you know. And he's Superman.
And that's part of the problem with a lot of comic book properties. They take these iconic moments in comics, but then they don't build it up. Like the death of Superman means nothing if you haven't spent time with Superman. Just like doing the Dark Phoenix means nothing without doing the Phoenix Saga. Exactly. And the Phoenix Saga means nothing without spending time with Jean Grey. It's like if you jump to Captain America Civil War without having that build up with the Iron Man and the Captain America movies and the Avengers, because they were in that movie too.
They're trying to skip to the big shot, the money shot. They're trying to go right there. You're like, oh, what's the high point of the story? We're gonna go straight there. You can't do that.
Yeah, so like in the beginning, like and granted, I know it seems like we're criticizing the movie, but I want to get my criticisms out the way first, because I did enjoy the movie. But like, since we are talking about the beginning, but yeah, the moment where his voice was going out and and then you saw it spreading through the mother boxes and the whole world was hearing his, I was like, does Superman have a super voice? Like that's not part of his power. Like how does this work? Like so I was just like, I'm very confused, but it looked beautiful. It looks
cool. And it's not this movie's fault that the movies prior didn't build up a Superman, you know?
Yeah, no, same thing with even Wonder. Like I kind of feel like Zack Snyder ham-fisted Patty Jenkins a little bit with Wonder Woman, where it's like, oh yeah, you're expecting me to believe that she was here for hundreds of years on in man's world and just didn't do anything
at all.
Yeah. And it's the same problem. Actually, you know what? Let me skip to the end real quick since I'm talking about that. It's the same problem I got with Martian Manhunter. You mean to tell me this motherfucker, this man has been on Earth since before Man of Steel started, and
he watched Doomsday kill Superman.
Not even just Doomsday. He was there during Man of Steel. He watched the Kryptonians about to take over Earth. Didn't help. He can't. Doomsday was about to destroy the world. He watched Doomsday kill Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. It got Wonder Woman to show up. She hasn't been participating in 100 years. So, and he didn't show up to try to help. And then Steppenwolf, the Parademons, they all showed up. He didn't show up to help. And then he shows up at the very end like, hey, what's up? Like, nah, like
a certain way about a lot of stuff that Zack Snyder added or that was supposed to be in it. I think Martian Manhunter was never intended to be in the film ever.
Probably not.
Fans speculated that one military guy was Martian Manhunter, and he just ran with it. Oh yeah, that sounds good. And he ran with it. And he added it the last second.
I think
there was no way that character was in that film.
It would have made more sense to me if it was like a Green Lantern that showed up. Like, okay, they were off world, and they heard about what happened. They're the protectors of Earth or whatever. So now they're showing up to be like, hey, I'm here now. But for Martian Manhunter to have always been there and not show, like I made this joke on TikTok.
He was shoehorned in.
Yeah, I made this thing on TikTok where I was like, he reminded me of that guy that he's in the group project with you, but he doesn't participate. And then he shows up at the very end expecting to get some credit. Like, nah, motherfucker, like, where were you?
I was here the whole time. Let me get a B+ too.
Yeah, like he went and tried to get Lois Lane to say, oh, the world needs you, Lois Lane, to get her out of her funk. But I'm like, motherfucker, you are damn near probably stronger than Superman.
Yeah, on paper he is.
Yeah, on paper he's stronger than Superman, and he has other powers like the telepathy and things and shapeshifting. Yeah. Like the world needs you more than it needs Lois. Like, get the fuck out. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Granted, I'm speaking about it from an in-world perspective more so than I'm talking, but even from a writing perspective, like why didn't you help? Like even Bruce Wayne was looking at him like,
it was definitely something just thrown in.
But I mean, it was nice. It was nice to see him. I was excited about it, but I was still just like, okay, where the fuck were you this whole time?
Yeah.
But anyway, so getting more into it, like this is the thing I like about, because I only saw it the one time, so I'm pretty sure and plus it's 4 hours.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna watch it again.
I mean, I might watch it like another time, but probably not right away.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I say that to say, guys, if there's anything we missed in the chat or whatever that you want us to talk about, please hit it. Or if you notice anything that I missed, let me know. But like once they got to the beginning, like this, and this is the thing I appreciate about the Snyder Cut, like you saw that like that Wonder Woman scene where she stopped the bank robbers. Mm-hmm. That shit was like totally different than the Joss Whedon version. Like you got to see, and this is something, especially after Wonder Woman 1984, and how you didn't really see Diana be the badass that she is, but then you got to this scene, and she was taking motherfuckers out, like it was like with the kick, she was killing people. She did kill people, and Wonder Woman
kills. A lot of people don't know that.
Wonder Woman kills. And like that scene. That scene got me a little hype. I was like, okay, if this is what the rest of the movie is going to be, I can appreciate it, because that scene was pretty good. Like, did you feel
I was a little upset I didn't get to hear her theme song during that part, but it's cool.
No, it did play, didn't it? I think it did.
I don't think so. I think I was listening for it and it didn't play. I could be mistaken. Or maybe it did play that one time and it wasn't heard the rest of the film. I expect to hear that theme song every time one of them was beating somebody's ass.
I don't think it was heard the rest of the film. I think it was only that one scene.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember hearing the theme song. But like that whole thing, that whole opening was just so much better. The only thing is like it's still the Zack Snyder color grading is like,
oh yeah, so dark and dreamy.
But let me address the $15 super chat. Thank you so much, RJ. Always appreciate the content. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. I will, so long as I got supporters like you here. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, what were you about to say?
I also felt that even though those scenes were really good, I think they were like all CGI. I don't think Gal Gadot like did any action in that, first opening scene. It was like all CGI, but I liked it.
Well, no, I think there was some like the blocking. I think maybe she did some and they just sped it up.
Maybe.
So yeah, but I mean, either way, I still liked.
Yeah, either way, it was dope.
Yes, and it was completely different from the Joss Whedon stuff. Like almost like it was a new scene. Like the moment,
but he did refilm a lot of stuff, and the fact that it's CGI, it could be all redone.
Yeah, because like there was the moment where in the Joss Whedon cut, she just threw the bomb up.
Yeah,
but in this one, she actually grabbed it and she flew up, which was funny because. Well, she didn't even fly. She just jumped up. And I think that was like funny because you get to Wonder Woman 1984, you find out that she can actually fly in that movie.
Yeah.
But then you get to this movie, which is like 30 years in the future. She can't fly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cyborg can fly and she can't. I'm like,
she can only fly when she's feeling the pain from a man or some weird.
Yeah, she got to remember Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
To fly.
Yeah.
But then I think after that scene, it jumps to Aquaman, Batman looking for Aquaman. And that scene was pretty much the same from the Snyder version. It was just a couple added, where you saw Batman riding on the horse or whatever in the very beginning. And then it was a couple more scenes like where you saw Aquaman going into the water and things like that. And I mean, how did you feel about it? Because I mean, it was pretty much the same. It was just the music that was a little different. Like, how did you feel about Aquaman scenes overall?
And the music, and he like whatever was cut from Whedon, he put it back in. Like, even if it was just like a little bit more exposition, like the Wonder Woman scene. I don't think I remember they showing like the bank robbers, going into the bank like that heavy and like showing their motives and stuff like that. I don't think I knew their motive at all, really. And besides I think the lasso scene might have been similar, but that was it. Like there's just more context to everything. The Aquaman scene where the woman sniffs his garment.
I was just about to talk about that. And see, Jay who mentioned that. Yeah, that's my one complaint about that scene.
Yeah,
we're talking about things that could be cut. I was like, I don't need to, like the whole moment where the women started singing and then sniffing his sweater and they started singing more. I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah,
Why do I need this?
And to skip ahead a little bit, the Flash Iris West scene, it wasn't terrible, but
no,
Flash
it wasn't
got
terrible.
A little too touchy with her for my taste. Like, I understand they're strangers, they smile at each other, but he gets real handsy with her. Now I don't think that was too cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. We're the same way. Yeah, I felt the same way. But she flew, didn't she? No, she didn't fly. She jumped up super high because you could tell she was starting to fall right before the bomb exploded, and then she fully fell down. But no, she didn't fly. No. Apparently, she can't fly in this movie because we didn't see her fly at all. But yeah, I definitely felt I felt the same way. Like, as soon as he saw her, and then that's another weird thing. Like, I thought the score was great.
Yeah.
But the soundtrack, like the rock songs that were playing and stuff like during certain moments, I was like, yeah, this stuff.
I would have preferred it if each character. I know every character is not as popular as Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman. They haven't had their chance to really shine yet. But I would prefer it if each character had their own theme, like how Wonder Woman's theme comes on and you just know Wonder Woman's about to do something. If they had a theme for each character, I think that'd be cool.
I think the only one that has his theme is Wonder Woman and Superman. Superman has his Man of Steel theme. Yeah. I don't think Batman has a theme. The Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman.
Yeah.
But that singing scene. And I mean, I get what he's going for. I do. I get what he's going for. He's trying to show that these men, like Injustice, they're gods among us.
Yeah.
And like, you think about actual religion, like we have songs worshiping, whether it's Christian, Islam, Muslim or whatever, Muslim, Christian, and what's the other one? Jewish religion. I'm like, what the fuck? We have songs worshiping our God and everything like that. So I get what he was trying to go for, but at the same time, I was just like, yeah, I don't know.
Too hard. You're doing too much.
Yeah, you're doing too much. Yeah. But the thing that I really appreciated about this, like, they gave way more for Cyborg to do in this movie. And not even just that, you think about the Whedon cut versus the Snyder cut, like Joss Whedon pretty much cut out all the people of color from this movie, whether it's Cyborg, they cut out a lot of his father, the woman that Cyborg gave money to or whatever. They cut out Ryan Choi from the Whedon cut. Like, he basically cut out all the people.
And Ryan Choi doesn't really hurt the film at all. Like, but he cut that just to cut it. Like, I don't get it at all. But I'm not sure. I'm sure that Cyborg definitely had way more in Zack Snyder's original cut, but I'm not sure if Zack Snyder added more after all the hoopla with Joss Whedon. Like, did he add more after the Ray Fisher stuff? Did he add more than it was originally intended? Because Cyborg got a lot of burn, and I don't know if that was like originally. I don't know if we should give him all the credit.
Well, from what I remember from the movie news back then, he did say he wanted Cyborg to have a major role in this movie. So I think it was always.
He said that before the film came out.
He said that back in 2017 before he left.
Okay.
Before he left, so that's part of the reason why Ray Fisher was always mad.
Yeah.
About a lot of his scenes got cut, and so
definitely a lot got cut. Yeah.
And so that's not to say because Zack Snyder did shoot some additional scenes.
Exactly. There's a lot of extra footage shot. So
yeah,
maybe
that's part of the reason why
more just to make Joss Whedon look a little bit more or show how bad Joss Whedon is. But
yeah, that's part of the reason. Yeah, I was gonna say that's part of the reason why it costs like $70 million extra to shoot the additional scenes, because he did, not even just the scenes, but then fixing certain CGI. Like Steppenwolf looked a lot. But granted, I still don't like what they did with the design. Like, I don't know why he looks the way he
looks like a Transformer. He looks like Megatron in the Transformer movies.
Like, I think his design looks. Yeah, I think his design looks way better. But I still don't like his CGI-ish design. Like, if you look at his actual, like, how he looks in the comics versus what they decided to go with in the movies, like it looks stupid, but I still appreciate that they made him look better.
Yeah.
But yes, Aaron Flythe, I think that's how you say it. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, he had a little bit more expression, and I think I think his character as well as Cyborg benefited the most from the Snyder cut.
Definitely.
In terms, because because you think about Steppenwolf, like the only thing I remember him saying in the Joss Whedon version was like, "I'm doing it for mother."
Yeah, he was a really pointless villain. Like he was just moving the plot along. Like he was just the threat. And they definitely gave him like a backstory, like he's doing this to get back in the good graces of Darkseid. Like he was, probably goofing around, or he failed sometimes before, and he definitely had a lot more backstory. It made us, watch him more.
Yeah, like he betrayed Darkseid for whatever reason. You find out they actually mention that he's Darkseid's family.
Yeah,
and you actually get to see Darkseid in this movie, which was cool.
Do you think that they kind of fused him with to get in the comics a little bit with Calabac, Darkseid's son? Steppenwolf.
I mean, probably because they didn't necessarily mention.
Yeah, I don't see Steppenwolf as like that kind of villain. I see him more like as a trickster, or not really like the come in and just wreck stuff kind of villain. I think it was more like a Calabac.
That is more Calabac. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I at least appreciated the effort, the greater effort that they put.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of my big problems with the original film, is that Steppenwolf was just there, like he was just a villain just to be a villain, and then just there moving the plot along. Like we didn't even know why he was really doing what he was doing.
And the only thing I will say about my negative for Darkseid, and I know we're jumping a lot, but I'm trying to think of this 4-hour movie, but it kind of makes me go like the fact that when you get to that flashback and when Darkseid showed up on Earth, and you saw all of the Earth's mightiest heroes back then, which I know that's Avengers, but still the heroes back then trying to take him out. Yeah. I'm like, the fact that he was taken out by Ares.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman easily took out Ares in her movie.
Yeah.
I was like, but this is supposed to be Darkseid now. Like, and I get it was,
that is underwhelming.
I get it was everybody, but it's still but it wasn't everybody that fought Darkseid. It was just Ares just chopped them in the neck with that axe. But then
Darkseid had his own army. It's not like they were all just fighting him. They were fighting his army as well.
But then you jump to the end of this movie, Superman got chopped in the same shoulder by the axe, and he was like not impressed. So
that is a big problem of mine too. Like even with the original and this one, Superman is just they made him seem so powerful. I understand that he's Superman, but what's the point of the Justice League if Superman can beat all the Justice League by himself? That's
literally the same thing I said in my non-spoiler review. I was like, one of my problems with this Justice League movie is like, basically what you said. Like the Justice League exists because not one hero can take on the threat on their own.
Exactly.
Like when you get to the comics, like it was Starro.
Yeah.
So Superman couldn't defeat Starro on his own. Wonder Woman, so they all had to come together to defeat the threat. But according to this movie, it was just like all we need is Superman.
Yeah, we need to get Superman back.
So then what the fuck? Do I need?
The next threat doesn't even matter now because nothing can stop Superman.
Yeah, it's like, so what the fuck do I need the rest of y'all for? Like,
yeah, he could beat up the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman at the same time. Like. That's crazy.
And maybe because I was gonna say at least the only one he couldn't touch was the Flash, so I'm at least glad they kept that in.
Barely, he was
barely. he was close, but he still couldn't touch him. So I'm at least glad they still said Superman's faster.
Yeah,
but I'm like, but Wonder Woman could keep up with it, not fully, but she should be
strength-wise, exactly. Yeah,
because even that moment, like he pulled her one-handed. I was like, nah, he should at least needed two hands to pull Wonder Woman. Like y'all did Wonder Woman dirty with like.
Yeah, and then like if you go to the comic books, when Superman is resurrected, he's like a shell of himself. He doesn't have any sunlight or anything like that. He's a shell of himself. He's walking around with guns and stuff like that.
And that's the reason. That's the reason he needs the black suit to absorb more sunlight. But
exactly, the black suit has a reason. Yeah,
but they just gave him the black suit because it looks cool.
Yeah.
I wish they at least gave it like a
and all the exposition they added, they could have did better with him rising, But I think Zack Snyder is more focused on Superman being a Jesus analog, so he just rises on the third day, and he's Jesus again. And
I remember him saying like way back in the day that the reason he killed Superman in BVS is because he couldn't figure out another way to get Superman out the way because he wanted Batman to be the one to create the Justice League. And he was like, it doesn't make sense for Batman to create the Justice League if Superman is still around. Because why wouldn't Superman make the Justice League? I'm like, you could still have. So that's why he did the death of Superman. But I'm like, you can still have Batman create the Justice League. Yeah, exactly. Like that you could have sent Superman off world or something. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff you could have did. Yeah, it's true. But Kaylee Damos, Wonder Woman should be able to match Supes in strength and speed and overpower him completely after being resurrected. They did her dirty. Yeah, I completely agree. Like even the head, like the moment where she headbutted him and he was just like, and then he headbutted her to the ground. I'm like, yeah, come on, man. And that's another thing. Wonder Woman. I get technically, yes, Superman has more raw strength than her. But Wonder Woman is a fighter. She does what she does. Like Superman, it just happens to be really strong. Wonder Woman has been fighting for centuries. You know what I mean? Her combat experience is like second to none in DC. There's no way. Like, just because you're a little bit stronger than me doesn't mean you can beat me. I can actually fight. For 5,000 plus years, like for the most part, every time they fought in the comics where Superman was like brainwashed or anything like that, Diana didn't win easily. She had a tough time, but every time she's won. Yeah, and then when Batman gives his I forget what comic, but Batman gives his analysis of it, I think Superman tried to say he was faster than Diana. He was like, yeah, you're faster than her like running speed, but you're not faster than her like combat speed, like reflexes and skills. She's better than you. She outclasses you. She's a fighter. You're not. It's like I know exactly what. Yeah, I know exactly what. Yeah, Usain Batman said it's like Usain Bolt versus Bruce Lee. Like, yeah, Usain Bolt could probably run faster, but Bruce Lee's gonna punch you faster. Exactly, but they didn't really show that. And so it's toxic masculinity. Hashtag Diana needs some respect, especially after, like I said, her name. Especially after Wonder Woman 84. But, yeah, for real. But so after the Aquaman scene, what was next? It was I believe it was what was after the Aquaman scene? Well, this is after when he's getting the mother boxes. Oh no, this is when Bruce goes and gets Aquaman. He goes and gets Aquaman, and then is Flash after that or Cyborg? No, I think no, it was Bruce and Alfred talking. That's another thing I like. I like that they got Alfred. Yeah, because they have Jeremy Irons. He's a really great actor. So for him to only have like 2 lines in the whole original movie is like a waste. And plus, I like his connection with Ben Affleck. Like a lot of people, when it was first mentioned that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, and granted, I was that way too. I was like, Ben Affleck, are you serious? And granted, I didn't like what they did in BVS, but at the same time, him as Batman, I like him as Batman. Same, I feel the same way. Yeah, I like Affleck. In terms of like live action Batmans, he's the best one that we've had so far. So I'm a little, I would say with the disillusion of or dismemberment of the Snyderverse or whatever. That's the one thing I'm a little sad about. That we never got to see a Ben Affleck. Yeah, we never got to see a movie. Yeah, and that he was going to direct. Yeah. Yeah, now we're getting Robert Pattinson, and granted, he could be good, but I want it all. Yeah, I would like to see him, and I think supposedly he's coming back in the Flash. Like Batman. Yeah, I think if a Flash movie ever does come out. Yeah, because this movie was supposed to come out like years ago. Yeah, just like the Cyborg movie, it was never when they announced it. I literally went to like the internet and said, "There's no Cyborg movie. This is never going to happen. DC is not going to make a black superhero movie unless it's Static Shock and they know they can capitalize off it like 100%." And even Static, they like kind of like not even really. They gave Michael B. Jordan thing. It's like if you fail, we're just gonna blame you, and if it makes like mad money, we're gonna take the credit. You know. And then they're just gonna relegate it to HBO Max and not want to put it in theaters. Yeah. Which means they don't really invested. They're not really that invested in it. No. But another scene that I also enjoyed that they did add a lot more to, and they did show more of how menacing Steppenwolf was. Then you get to the scene with the Amazons. Oh, definitely. The Amazon scene was crazy. Yeah, the Amazon scene was really good. So talk. You could talk about that real quick. It made the Amazons look tough. Like even though Steppenwolf beat them, like they're like warriors. They were like coming at him crazy. They had so many different ways to stop him, so many different plans, so many different techniques. Like when they were running away with the mother box, like it was like crazy. Like you almost thought that you saw the movie already, but you almost thought they were going to beat him. Yeah, even that moment where he was like, I've beaten hundreds of worlds or whatever, and I felt their fear or whatever. And then when Hippolyta was like, Amazons, show them your fear. They said, we have no fear. And I was like, yes, I want to see some badass bitches. Exactly. I want to see some badass bitches. You didn't really get that. And yeah, you didn't get that in the Whedon cut. And granted, yes, Joss Whedon's trash. He need to go to jail.
Yeah,
he's abusive. He's abusive. Yeah, he's abusive and all that other stuff. But I have to say, I will say, I don't fully blame him for a lot of the stuff. Granted, I blame him for a lot of what happened in the Justice League movie, but I don't even fully blame him for the Justice League movie because he did have a lot of constraints.
It was a two-headed monster. Yeah, it was two-headed monster.
from Warner Brothers. Like, they didn't want this movie because even think about this movie, like. Yeah, this movie was 4 hours, so naturally we got a lot of time with a lot of characters. But Warner Brothers, they didn't want originally in 2017. They didn't want this movie to be no longer than 2 hours. So, like, imagine what this movie would have been if it was only 2 hours. Like, a lot of the character moments that we did enjoy, more than likely not even more than likely, they wouldn't have. It
wouldn't have been in at all. No.
And then not only just that, but then I believe it was Joss Whedon. He wanted another year to complete the Justice League movie, and they flat out told him no. So
they were already fed up with him though after 2 movies that really didn't. I mean, Batman vs Superman probably
not Snyder. I mean, I'm talking about Whedon. Whedon wanted another when they brought Whedon on. He wanted another year to do the movie, and they said they were like no. So he had to work not only just in the time constraints, but then the fact that he was brought onto the project late. It wasn't all the stuff that was shot wasn't his stuff, and he wanted to add more to it, and they was like, nah. So I don't necessarily fully blame him for the mistake. Like, granted, like I said, there's a lot that I do blame him for, and something that I'm glad that the Snyder Cut didn't have. But like the moment where the Flash fell on top of Wonder Woman, it was kind of like jiggling her boobs, and it was like playing for a laugh. Or every time, like the moment where you saw Gal Gadot try to connect with Cyborg and meet him in that alley. And like I remember specifically, like the camera started at her legs, like kind of panned up to her ass, and then kept going up. And I was like, "Y'all, that's
not necessary."
Yeah, I was like, "Y'all treating Wonder Woman like this?" Like
exactly, it's Wonder Woman, and I don't mind, a little, cheesecake, however you want to call it, but it's Wonder Woman, it's Wonder Woman. Respect,
But yeah, I was like, it's trash. Like, there's ways to be sexy without being sexualized. Like, for example, the Scarlet Witch outfit that Elizabeth Olsen wore, it was sexy without her being sexualized. Like you didn't see like all up in her cooch with the short shorts and things like that. So so there's ways to show Gal Gadot can be sexy without like having the camera pan up in her ass or the Flash falling on top of her boobs or whatever. Like
that was a joke that was probably 290s or 280s. Like we're way past that. It was very trash. So I blame him for a lot of that shit, or like some of the. I think the only good thing he really did, like that was the difference, was the Superman intro. Even though he had the weird lip thing going on, but that trying to make Superman, is showing that Superman cared about people and just some hope in the beginning, is the only thing that I missed from the original. That wasn't.
Yeah, that is the one good thing that that he did. He tried to make and that is one of my biggest complaints regarding the Snyder Cut in general. But hold on, let me address this. Thank you, Ambria Ashley, for the $3 super sticker. I appreciate all of you guys for leaving super stickers, super chats, leaving comments in the comment section, for being here watching. I see I got 25 people in the stream. Thank you so much for joining. You could have been anywhere, but you decided to come here.
Yeah, even though the time got changed like 4 times.
Even though the time got changed like 7,000 times. It was from 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7:15. Probably could have went to 7:20. I appreciate you guys for being here. But if you haven't already, if you haven't hit that like button, I appreciate if you could please hit that like button. It'll help with the YouTube algorithm and all of that stuff. Letting people know about the stream and letting YouTube know that the people that are in here are liking what they're seeing. So if you could do that, I appreciate it. But yeah, back to what was I saying? The Amazon scene. Yeah. So yeah, I like that. Like I said, it all goes with the music too. Like the Junkie XL score was so much better than like the Danny Elfman.
Oh, and you know what it reminded me of, and definitely sounded like? It sounded like Xena to me, and I love Xena. like Xena Warrior Princess. Like I heard like a little bit of.
I can't do it. I can't do it. So I mean, I'm just
you know what I'm talking about though. Yeah.
Even though that's not how it sounds. I don't know how she does that shit.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do that since the 90s, and I can't do it. But yeah, that's exactly what that reminds. That's why I'm like, if any show needs to get a reboot, I would love to see them do
Xena.
Yeah, reboot Xena. And
definitely.
And
I've tried to catch back into it, like with comics, like, but they never last long in the Xena comics. But I wish they did.
Yeah, I need to go back and actually because I've never seen I've seen episodes here and there, but I never watched Xena straight like I did with Buffy.
I want to, but I know I have to watch Hercules for that, and then Hercules.
I don't think you do.
It hurts too much, man. I think watching Hercules.
Yeah, it does. I think the only episodes you may need to stomach is the episode that Xena first showed up on Hercules.
Because Hercules is probably still a great show, even though it can't be just Kevin Sorbo. Is like the
Kevin Sorbo's trash. Like I remember, it's the same thing was with Hercules. I watched Hercules here and there. I just didn't keep up with it, not because I didn't.
I was a huge fan. I was in the mythology and stuff like that as a kid. I was a huge Hercules and Xena fan, and when I found out who Kevin Sorbo was, it was devastating.
Because I was just about to say, going back before the whole Kevin Sorbo drama came out. Yeah. Because Hercules is still on Netflix, I went back and started watching because I was like, you know what, I want to go back and watch Hercules and eventually Xena, and I was like, this is actually still good. And then I found out Kevin Sorbo was a trash ass human being.
Yeah,
I was
exactly. I have a friend like that who's a huge Superman fan. He loves Superman, Lois and Clark, and then Dean Cain.
Yeah, Dean Cain.
Yeah,
Dean Cain is a cunt.
yeah, it's crazy.
But as far as can you still hear me? Because you just froze.
A little bit. I hear you though.
Oh yeah, because okay. Now you unfroze. I was like getting charmed. I was like, am I Piper? Did I freeze you? But yeah, as far as Xena, I think you only just got to watch. You just got to maybe stomach the one episode. No, I think it's 2 episodes that she showed up, and then you just go watch Xena. I don't think you need to watch Hercules.
Nah, see, I'm watching Buffy. And you told me I gotta watch Angel, but I can watch Xena without watching Hercules. It's the same thing, bro.
No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing because as far as I know, granted, I didn't watch Xena like that, but as far as I know, there weren't that many crossover episodes with
a few
with Buffy. The 4th season of Buffy and the first season of Angel, there were at least 5 crossover episodes with those first season. But then after that, you don't really have to watch them because then they separate because that's when Buffy eventually goes to UPN and Angel stayed on WB. So they tried to keep them separate so they didn't have that many crossovers. So that's why you gotta. It's not
Buffy
the same.
went to UPN because they realized what the fan base was.
Black people.
Yeah.
But no, Buffy. But no, the real reason is because WB didn't want to pay because Joss Whedon asked for a rate because he's like the show's been
last season.
The show's but he was like the show's been on for 5 seasons. Like I want to start paying my actors more. I want to start paying my crew more. I want to put more into the episodes. So he asked because I think Buffy was getting $1 million per episode. He wanted $2 million per episode. WB was like, hell no. Even though season 5 was the highest rated of the show. And they were still nah. And so WB offered them more money. And so he ended up moving to, UPN offered more money. So they moved to UPN. But anyway, back to back to
Justice League.
I was about to say Xena. I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah. Went everywhere. Just did my bad.
But one thing I will say still kind of hurts my heart every time you see her though is that we don't get no love for Philippus. And whether it's Wonder Woman or the Snyder, you see her, the woman that played, and I don't know if you saw Krypton.
No, hell no.
Oh well, never mind that. She played one of the main Kryptonians in that show too.
Oh, cool.
So she's definitely a badass. But I like that scene. Then seeing Steppenwolf took out all the Amazons, and then seeing all the Amazons running towards them, all of that shit looked epic. And then jumping right after that, I think that's when you get to more about Cyborg.
Yeah.
And learning more of his backstory and finding out who he was. And then the scene that was cut that I thought looked beautiful, the football scene.
Yeah, that was definitely, there's no reason that shouldn't have been in the movie.
Yeah, because you got to see where he came from. You got to see his origin. This is the first movie that Cyborg is in. You don't think it's
it's not like a Spider-Man movie where we've seen Uncle Ben die 15 times.
Yeah. It's like You don't think it's imperative to put his origin in the movie? Like,
yeah.
Granted,
Like,
I get you.
He doesn't matter. He doesn't matter at all. Like
exactly.
whatever.
I'm like, granted, I get you only had a little bit of time to put in the movie, but you would think his origin is, like I said, it's imperative. This is his first time in the movie.
Exactly. And his connection to the mother box, the way they did it, he should have a bigger part, you know?
A way bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, all of that. But how do you feel about? I was like, I didn't have a problem with it as much as other people, but I'm like, it is starting to get a little too much. Like the slow mo, like there was a lot of
slow mo was the biggest. Like, you know, it's cool sometimes in action scenes, but it was just slow mo for no reason. Like slow mos, close ups. That's what made it 4 hours. Slow motion.
It was a lot of slow, and yes,
it was
it
probably
worked.
a 3 hour film at best. And then slow motion took it to 4 hours. That's how much slow motion is, and there, no exaggeration.
But hold on, would y'all want Lucy Law in the Xena? I mean, yeah, maybe not as Xena, maybe
not as Xena, but yeah.
But she could definitely. I would definitely want her to show up as like maybe a main character
in the Amazons or something like that, or
something like that,
a goddess or something like that. Yeah, definitely.
But as far as
I want to see her replace what's her name? Is Cara Dune in Mandalorian?
Gina Carano. Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, exactly. Just recast it right there. Lucy Lawson is perfect.
Or I was like, or just don't even say it, but like replace her with a black woman.
Oh, that works too.
Yeah, boom.
Do Gina Torres.
Yeah, do Gina Torres, or have like, because she's so anti-trans, have it be a black trans woman.
That works too.
They'd be like, boom, fuck you, bitch. But yes, I really like Tyler Hoechlin. For me, he's my super, like the way they depict him as Superman. You watch Superman and Lois?
I've seen the first episode, and I know he's a good Superman. It's just that he's like 5'7".
Is he that? Because I'm like, I haven't.
They try to make him.
I didn't meet him, but I was at a con and he was like in the distance playing. He was like at an after party. He was playing pool at a distance, and I was like, I kind of want to walk up to him, but I'm nervous because he's playing pool, but I don't want to be like, hey, I'm a fan. This is before all of that stuff. I was like, hey, I'm a fan of Teen Wolf. Can I get a picture? But I was like, I'm not gonna bother him. I wish I kind of got a picture because I'm like, hey Tyler, how you doing? how you doing? But no, he's definitely my Superman. Like the way they depict him, and like even in that first episode, like he looks like he was a people person. He looked like somebody that enjoys being Superman, and that's something that you don't really get from Zack Snyder's version.
He's very much an alien in Snyder's universe.
Yeah, he broods a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
and like he barely smiles in the movie.
He's such a sad Superman.
Yeah,
but that's not his fault.
It's not. No, it's not Henry Cavill's fault.
Exactly, and he definitely has the look and the acting chops to play Superman. I seen him in what's the Netflix show, The Witcher. He's awesome in that. So I know he can.
I still haven't seen. I only saw. So I think I saw like 2 episodes. And I need to get back. I need to get back into it. But I do like him as Superman, and I do want him to come back. Like they keep doing my man dirty. Like why? I read a thing, and
it's him and Ben Affleck. It's like neither one of them really got a shot, and that's all. As much as I like the Snyder cut of Justice League over the original, this is Snyder's fault that this universe didn't really pan out. You know? Yeah,
I agree. Like I read a thing, an article that Warner Brothers wants to do an Hour Man series for DC.
Yeah, instead of a Man of Steel 2.
I was like, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I've never even heard of this character.
Man,
I'm like,
Our Man is the JSA character, and I really shouldn't. I think the JSA is like, I know there might be a lot of DC fans watching this stream, but JSA is like racist as hell in my opinion. It's just an all-white superhero team. It's worse than the Justice League. They whited in Justice League.
I don't really know that much about the JSA, but I'm like, you're announcing Our Man before a Man of Steel 2? Like, who the fuck who is making these decisions? It's even the same. Guy. It's even the same way. Yeah, true. It's even the same way I feel about like even the way they treated Cyborg. Like even when they put Cyborg in the Justice League in the comics.
Yeah, and I'm just not feeling that because a lot of stuff is coming out about Jeff Johns, who he used to be, or maybe he still is. I don't know. One of my favorite comic book writers. I loved his Green Lantern series a lot. I have all the omnibuses, the absolute editions, and everything.
Even Aquaman, Knight and all that stuff. The whole reason Aquaman is even as prominent as he is now is because
he brought back Barry Allen. Barry Allen was dead in comics for so long. he brought back Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan was dead in comic books for so long. But the thing is, a lot of people are speculating now that because of his actions, he may have brought back Hal Jordan just to push out Jon Stewart and then have another prominent white character. And when they rebooted into the New 52, a lot of people were saying the reason that Cyborg was implemented is so they could have Hal Jordan in the Justice League instead of, Jon Stewart, and you could put Cyborg in there, but not give him a lot of burn. He's like a token character without being, because Green Lantern is going to be a main character. The Green Lantern powers are awesome. The Green Lantern patrols all the space. He's going to be big. And he already had a huge fan base, and a lot of people saying that they set it up that way to like not have a prominent black figure.
But yes, Oneness. Cyborg was part of the Teen Titans, but when DC rebooted their universe with an event called the New 52, which I believe came out in 2011, right?
11.
Yeah, so they took Cyborg they retconned their whole universe, and they took Cyborg from the Teen Titans and put his origin with the Justice League. Mm-hmm. So that's why Cyborg is now a member of the Justice League in this movie, because they did it in the comics. But what I was going to get to with that is it shows that they're not even really that invested, because even with that, when they put Cyborg in the comics, every single member of the Justice League had their own solo comic.
Except Cyborg. And then when they let David Walker write a Cyborg solo, it didn't last long at all. Like, they weren't investing into it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Like, and it's trash.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. Like, even after,
it's the same thing
even after everything that
we go on forever. DC released a comic book not too long ago called Naomi, and it sold well. The number 1 issue is worth a bunch of money. They're getting a CW show soon, but Naomi does not have a solo book. It would sell. It's sold. Her miniseries sold.
Wait, I thought she does have
she's in the Justice League now.
Oh, okay.
She's in the ongoing Justice League, but Naomi does not have a solo book. And her miniseries sold well. Immediately, she should have had a solo book. Immediately, the hype, the craze, fans loved her, but they're just like, black character? No, why would we do that? I have big problems with DC. Like, the only people I respect at DC Comics are probably Scott Snyder and Scott Snyder and Tom Taylor. It's probably and Tom King. That's it.
Yeah, I like Tom Taylor too.
Yeah,
like he's the one that created Val Zod.
So. Yeah, I love Tom Taylor. And
wasn't allowed to do more with him because he told me when because he tweeted my Val Zod cosplay, and he was like, I would love to do more with that character, but I'm not allowed to. So
exactly. And why do you think he's not allowed to?
Because he's black.
Exactly. And DC, like, even if you go on the internet and you go into like the deepest forums of geekdom, a lot of people like the Justice League. A lot of white people like the Justice League because they're like the last white superheroes. Like, they're the all white team. It's the Just Us League, Every once in a while they sprinkle in a woman or a person of color, but the Justice League is white bread.
Yeah, but they don't want Black Superman overshadowing Kal-El. So
exactly.
That's why they like let's not do more with Val Zod.
They don't want little kids dressing up as Black Superman in their Halloween costumes like little white kids are dressing up as Black Panther. They don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But what do you think of the future of the DCEU now that Cavill, Affleck, and Fisher are out? Prospects seem dismal, and I have no faith in the problematic leadership over there. Yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about.
I think eventually DC is going to get sold by Warner Brothers. Eventually,
that's the rumor.
Yeah,
that AT&T is looking to sell off some of their DC property, because AT&T is in a lot. It's not even just Warner Brothers, because AT&T now owns it, and AT&T is in a lot of debt. And so they're looking at ways to try to, get more money into the company. And so I saw a rumor that they're basically going to do what Marvel did back in the early 2000s and 90s, where they're going to license off some of their properties. Mm-hmm. So like maybe license off Superman to Sony and
that's the thing. That's why they license a little bit, because they're never going to give up Superman and Batman. They're going to license everything else. They're never going to give up Superman and Batman because they would look like Marvel looks now with Spider-Man.
But either way, even if they do it, it still kind of sucks, because it's like, y'all don't see what Marvel's doing with their like all of their characters are now under one roof.
You should just sell it as a bundle, for a really.
They shouldn't even sell it at all. Like Warner Brothers.
No, I don't want them to have it anymore. Fuck Warner Brothers. Well, after Mortal Kombat comes out, I'm not watching no more Warner Brothers movies.
Well, what studio would you want to own DC? I don't want it to go to Disney, because then that's too much. That's too much consolidation of power.
It's too much consolidation of power. Even though that would definitely give us the Avengers Justice League crossover that we've been dying for to happen for the last 20 years. I don't know. I can't think of a company. Maybe Sony. You just a Sony. Maybe Sony.
Because I'm like, Fox doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, Fox doesn't exist.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Sony. Sony could probably work with it because I mean, Sony owns Crunchyroll, and then like Spectacular Spider-Man was a great animated show, so maybe they could do better than Warner Brothers. I don't know.
Yeah, Sony and Marvel have a working relationship, so maybe it goes to Sony, and we still get to get a Justice League Avengers, comic.
And yes, Jessica, he did say the Just Us League. Talk about white people.
Yeah.
The KKK League.
Yeah.
But you can see that Zack Snyder tried to inject some, like I said, because Joss Whedon cut out all the people of color damn near from this movie. So then moving on with the Cyborg stuff and getting into his origin and his backstory and seeing how he died, and you actually got
the relationship with his father and stuff.
Yeah, the relationship with his mother, and the fact that him and his mother were in the car together right before she died, and how because of that his father didn't come to the game, and maybe if his father was there or they weren't so focused on having that conversation, maybe she wouldn't have died, maybe he wouldn't have become Cyborg, and
it makes it more of a reason for him to be a reluctant hero, and I always love reluctant heroes.
Yeah,
like when Wonder Woman approached him and she's like the whole world is in danger. She's like, why should I care? Why should I care?
So I appreciated all of that backstory that you got from Cyborg, and then plus it shows you got to see more of Ray Fisher's acting chops, and you got to see that he's actually
he can act.
Yeah, he's good.
He can actually act,
and it kind of makes me sad because it's like all of the stuff that Ray he's been dealing with this last year or whatever, and then finding out that he's right.
Mm-hmm.
And still, like, Warner Brothers isn't trying to give him a movie. Like, what are y'all doing?
It's Warner Brothers, bro. They don't care.
Like,
they don't care.
Marvel needs to scoop him up. Like, I don't know who he would be because I'm like, what character?
I don't want him to play nobody because he light skinned. I'm sorry. I need 3 dark skinned superheroes for every 1 light skin.
But nah, they can have him. They can have him play like Gambit or something like.
Oh yeah, you want to make him somebody white? Then okay, or somebody redheaded. You do that. Make them mad. Make them angry. They get angry. All the redheaded white characters turn into black people.
But nah, I wasn't talking about having him play like a black character. Like,
okay.
But he like scoop him up and play like have him play somebody. But I don't want them to Halle Berry and I don't want them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like have him play. No, I was about to say he ain't British. I was gonna say have him play Captain Britain.
Yeah.
But no, get out to Henry Cavill. You like they're not doing that with Superman. Marvel, scoop up Henry Cavill and have him be Captain Britain.
Make them look stupid. Let him play Hyperion.
Or even that. Like that'd be even better. Like
that'd be the ultimate slap in the face.
That'd be the ultimate slap in the face. And then we can see Hyperion and Thor.
Yeah.
And
and that's FL. That's it right there. Remember one time we were talking about my favorite gay ship? That's it. Thor and Hyperion.
That's your favorite gay ship?
Easily. They were so good together. And it was very obvious too. Very obvious. The entire Time Runs Out saga, they were way more than bros. And I liked it too. Like as a straight guy, I liked it. I'm like, I fucks with this.
But we know that's not good. Well, first of all,
it could happen because they're guys. Like they have a different. Marvel has a different thing with like gods and stuff like that. Like it's okay for them to be, like with Hercules is gay. They'll roll with that.
Well, Hercules is bi, not gay.
Oh, bi. I'm sorry.
But don't no. There's no bi erasure over here.
Yeah, my fault.
Speaking of which, I know this isn't a Marvel thing, but Marvel, Torres and Sam, let's make it happen. Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's have them have a little fling.
Yeah.
But anyway, so because it's like 4-hour movie. I'm like trying to remember everything that happened. So after the cyborg scene, what was next?
The Flash scene, maybe.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it was. I don't know if it was next, but we could talk about the Flash scene.
Yeah.
Next. I mean, we don't have to do like a full play-by-play, but just the things that called out to us and the things that we liked.
I think they kind of did Flash like comic relief, which is it's okay if they want to fuse him with Wally West, and I think that could have been done well. It was done okay, but it could have been done well, like because Zack Snyder is doing a serious movie, but the Flash can still bring a comedy aspect to the film, like have him be.
Yeah, they definitely had him be more Wally West-ish than Barry Allen. I mean, for the most part, Barry Allen didn't really have a personality until
he don't. He's a big nerd. That's his personality. So you could probably give Barry Allen like nervousness and like I don't know, jitteriness, but he's not like funny like Wally. It's okay.
Which is why people like Wally West mostly in the comics.
Exactly. But and they're finally bringing Wally West back in the comics, which is a dope thing.
But the thing I liked about the scene, and something that you really don't see in any Flash interpretation, even in the show, and it makes sense for the world. Now, granted, I know it's a magic world with superheroes and all that other stuff, but when he turned on the power of the Speed Force,
that was dope. Yeah, I knew you on.
And then you saw him bust out of his shoes.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. Like you don't really see
shoes
that.
Can't contain that.
Yeah, shoes can't contain that level of power. Like
exactly.
You don't see that. Like normally in any other Flash interpretation, you see him running, but the shoes are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's like not like even when I'm walking, like when I was up all days, when I was working and shit like that, my shoes would start to get holes and shit.
Yeah. He put a lot into that. Even when Batman was explaining his costume and how it was made out of like space shuttle, gear and all that stuff. Like it made sense. As like big comic book geeks like us, like a lot of us enjoy like the pseudoscience behind things.
Which I was also though, I was like, when you get through the episode, you find or the movie, you find out he don't got no money. He's trying to get a job to help try to pay his way through college to help get his father out. Exactly. I was like, so then where the fuck he get the money to get this spacesuit?
Probably stole the pieces. That makes sense to me.
I mean, maybe he
stole it piece by piece from NASA. They can't stop him. They can't see him.
I mean, yeah, maybe he did.
It's not like he had some kind of crazy bat cave or lab. It was like
well, he kind of had
Spider-Man. He got a dumpster dive like Spider-Man did in Civil War.
I mean, he kind of had a lab but
it wasn't too crazy.
That Bruce broke into. Well, hold on. What is this? Kaylee. She said there's speculation that MCU Bucky is bisexual because he mentioned tiger pictures. Mm-hmm. When was that? It was a trend. It was a trend of men taking pictures next to tigers, suggesting Bucky is talking to men on Tinder. Oh, okay. I don't know.
I can see it. Bucky's a man out of time.
I mean, well, I mentioned this on the Falcon and Winter Soldier live stream from yesterday that they did take there's a character named Arnie Roth in the comics, and he was Steve's best friend. He was the one that protected him from bullies. They grew up together. He, went to each other's house, spent the night. He also was sent off to the army and all that stuff. That character, Arnie Roth, he's actually gay in the comics, and they took all that backstory and gave it to Bucky for the MCU. So MCU Bucky is based off a queer character from the comics. And then also when you get to I can't think of the writer's name, but one of the writers in Marvel, Mark Waid, there we go. Mm-hmm. He did an interview a while ago because they were asking about why does he think the relationship between Bucky and Natasha works so well in the comics, and he said part of it is because they both have a crush on Steve Rogers. So I'm like, there's been a lot of teases. Again, this is why I talk about problems with queer baiting.
Now, if you want to talk poly, that would be a great poly.
But yeah, I'm like, there's been so there's been a lot of queer baiting and things like that when it comes to the relationship like Bucky. So I mean, yeah, Bucky could be bisexual. So who knows? So Bucky, Steve. I mean Bucky because Steve is gone, but Bucky, Sam, and Torres. Yeah, let's get a menage like Sensei orgy style with the music playing in the background. I'll be here for it. We only got 6 episodes. You could throw it in like Legends of Korra style. Do it in the last episode. They break out to it. They find out about each other all on Jack'd or something like that, or Grindr or Tinder or Bumble or Hinge, Scruff. With all the dating apps. Let it happen.
They had that in I'm going off on comics again. There was when Jessica Cruz and Simon Bass had their Green Lantern book. There was like an arc where there were superheroes that were on a dating app, and somebody was killing superheroes through it. But it was that was a fun concept. Superheroes on a dating app.
I mean, yeah, that would. I don't know if you read the latest issue of Captain Marvel, where they try to have her go dating with Spider-Woman was trying to get her out of her funk because she broke up with Rhodey, and so she was on dating apps. They took her speed dating and all that stuff. That's the shit that I like in superhero properties or comics in general.
And it's usually done in Marvel because Marvel
I want to see the more mundane aspects of their life. I don't always seeing them fight Sentinels or the Starro or
but you want to see all the superheroes at the poker game with Ben Grimm, smoking cigars and just bullshit.
Yeah, I want to see that type of stuff, or have a conversation, like seeing an interaction with Spider-Man and I don't know, Black Bolt. Granted, I know Black Bolt can't talk, but just seeing them in a normal conversation, just trying to interact with each other. Like, that's the stuff I like. Like, if you make everything an event, nothing's an event.
Yeah.
I missed the sex talk. I always got some sex talk that I could throw in here. But yeah, so there should have been some sex talk in this, like, because then you get to Wonder Woman and Bruce coming together to talk about forming the Justice League. And you see them looking at basically what you saw on BVS. So they were looking at the trailers for the next movie, rewatching, and they were talking about trying to locate Cyborg, trying to locate the Flash, and all that stuff. And you kind of saw them touch the mouse. And they got all awkward around each other. Yeah. And I was like, I wonder if that's like a callback to the Justice League cartoon where...
Definitely. Yeah. Where they actually had a relationship.
Which I actually liked their relationship. Like,
a lot of people did, but we were kids. And that's not what they wanted to do in the comics. And they spit on us when they made Superman date Wonder Woman in the comics.
Yeah, I hated that. Like,
many of us did.
Yeah, because of the Justice League comic, I always shipped... let's talk about the one straight ship that I got. I've always shipped Diana and Bruce. Yeah. Because of Justice League. Yeah. I still want them together. Yeah. So, I mean,
even though Batman and Catwoman's thing is going pretty strong right now in the comics.
Yeah, it is, but they could break them up. But did Kid Flash say he was bisexual? And the actor on the Flash show, I know, came out as bi, but in terms of like the actual character, no. So I don't know, but so you got that moment. You got a little camaraderie with them, and honestly, I feel like if they wanted to have anybody set up the Justice League, it should have been Wonder Woman. She's the most powerful one. Like,
she's been around the longest.
Yeah, she should be the leader of the Justice League.
That makes so much sense.
She's been around. She's been around the longest. She's the most capable in terms of being a warrior.
Makes so much sense.
Not both in comics and movies, but definitely in the movies. Like, she knows about the Atlanteans and things like that.
It should have been either her or Cyborg, because Cyborg has all the info or whatever. Maybe it could have been her going to Cyborg. It's her setting up, but her going to Cyborg. I need you to find these people. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. But toxic masculinity. So.
But I guess maybe in terms of finding them, Cyborg would work the best.
Yeah, just finding them, not
Oh, because I was like, I thought you were saying he should be the leader. I was like,
no, just finding him.
he's too green. But then you get to that scene where Diana finds Cyborg, and they had that conversation. I like seeing them interact, and then it makes sense that Diana is the one to be able to convince Cyborg,
exactly, especially since her people got devastated by Steppenwolf anyway, and had a history of fighting, those invaders anyway. She really should have been a more focal point in the movie. She should have. For the most part, Diana and Gal Gadot, she had a lot of badass scenes and a lot of badass moments, like the bank scene, and then towards the where she was fighting the parademons and things like that. But at the same time, she was there. It was most of her scenes were just her giving exposition. Yeah, and the only part that you got anything was really when he said Steppenwolf said something like, "Just like I did your mama." Which I was also like, how he know that's her mother? Exactly. He don't know that's the mother. Yeah, it's like crazy. Him even knowing that she's Amazon, I guess it makes a little sense. But him knowing her, I guess he could probably sense it. Yeah, but everything else is like, you have the blood of the old guys. Yeah, and then he said to her, like, "Oh, y'all might have beat me if you was there." I think they should have dove more into that and make Diana feel that more. I don't know. There should have been something there with Diana, with the loss of her people, or
and
something
I should have
like
shown her be more powerful. But
yeah.
I gotta catch y'all another time. Well, thank you so much for being here as long as you were, Jessica. I appreciate you. But yeah, especially if it was like, yeah, if you were there, you could have beat me. It's like, but yeah, you didn't show. But she's there now. You're not showing her.
Yeah,
being that cable. You showing her getting her ass beat by parademons.
Yeah, but not her. I mean, they saying her with the Amazons. You know, that's what he's trying to say, because the Amazons held them off. You know, a little bit.
Yeah, they did hold. They did
exactly.
Hold.
So if she was there with them, then maybe.
The current Kid Flash and Young Justice might be bisexual. Last season had a few hints. I didn't catch that, but maybe. I mean,
who, Barry's grandson, Impulse?
Yeah, are you talking about? Yeah, you talking about Impulse? I'm assuming so, because that was he was the Kid Flash of that. The thing I shipped on and Young Justice is Connor. Yeah, Tim and Connor. So well in Young Justice I shipped in the comics I shipped Tim and Connor, but in Young Justice I shipped Connor and Calder.
Oh, I can see that.
but then they put Calder with some random guy that you didn't really you got nothing from him. And that's the thing I hate when they do actually give you queer romances. They don't develop it. Like they develop McGann and Connor, they developed this character, but then when it came to Calder, it was just like, oh, here's his boyfriend. Well, who the fuck is that? And why should I care? Dude. Yeah, why should I care? Because I don't. Same thing with Superman. Like, why should I care that he's dead? I have no investment in him.
Yeah.
But wait, question. Was Lois pregnant? Yes. Zack Snyder actually came out recently and confirmed, because you did see that the pregnancy test. I don't know if you noticed. She had the pregnancy test in the scene where she was finally getting out of bed or something like that.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah.
You saw it in the background. And so a lot, but they didn't confirm if she was pregnant or not. But Zack Snyder came out and said, yes, she is pregnant.
And he had that stupid idea of it being Batman's baby or something like that.
Yeah, he said he wanted to have Lois have an affair with Batman at one point. And I'm like, see, this is exactly the problem. Like, yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? But so yeah, we get I'm assuming that's where he gets so jumping to the end again real quick. Another thing that I liked about this movie that I think made way more sense in the Snyder cut than in the Whedon cut. Even though I still don't think it should be there, period, but it makes more sense. The whole nightmare scene and at the end.
Oh, at the end? I like that a lot. I'm sorry. That's probably my favorite part of the movie is the nightmare scene.
But I'm like, but for the sake of what?
Like, because we're not going to see it again. It's just a tease.
Yeah, because we're not going to get another Justice League movie.
Yeah.
And so it was like, all right. So what was what the fuck was the point? But the fact that the way they contextualized it in this movie made so much more sense than it was in the Snyder. Like the Whedon cut, it was just like it was a dream. Yeah, and it was like, but what the fuck is, like, how is he dreaming that, like, Batman can't see the future? So how was he dreaming about this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But in this,
but now it's like he's having dreams about a timeline that Flash stopped.
Yeah. Or maybe he stopped it because we haven't seen Darkseid yet.
Yeah, true.
So I don't even think it was. I don't even think he was like, they made it seem like he was dreaming of it, but I don't even think he was dreaming about it. I think they just jumped to the future of what's going to happen.
I think that Flash stopped that because when Cyborg had those images in his head about like Superman being controlled by Darkseid and people dying and stuff like that. That happened when he dropped when he couldn't, finish or whatever the mother box, and the universe started changing. But then Flash ran and he altered time right then and there. I believe.
See, I don't think so, because I think the way the nightmare scene happens is because somehow Lois Lane dies, and it's because, again, they want to go the injustice route. Lois is pregnant, she dies, Superman goes evil. But the thing that doesn't make sense to me is, why would he want to serve Darkseid?
I don't know. We just didn't get that exposition. I mean, if you remember the old Justice League cartoon, Darkseid wanted to control Superman. He wanted to use him as a puppet. I That's the thing that's been done, in the comics. So he brainwashed Superman before.
So I mean, maybe he got the anti-life equation, and that's how he was able to brainwash. So it's not like maybe Superman isn't actually evil
because the anti-life equation takes away all free will. So
but either way, I was like this. Like I would like to see more of the way this episode, the way this movie ended in terms of like showing that nightmare scene. I was like, see, I now
wanted a lot more of that nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, I want more. I want to see more of this. This shit looks dope.
Yeah. Even the Joker part, it reminded me a lot, like you said, Injustice, and also Scott Snyder's Batman Last Night on Earth, where he's carrying the Joker's head around like it's Batman.
I don't know that one.
Oh, it's good. It's good. I don't read too much Batman, but it's good.
But even Zack Snyder's version of the Joker, Jared Leto's Joker was so much better in this.
Yes, right.
Than he was in Suicide Squad. Yeah. He didn't have that stupid damage tattoo on his head.
Yeah.
He's talking. Then he's talking like.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of the conversation between Batman and Joker. I really did. I wanted to see more of that. Like he was like tormenting, and he was like, "I'll kill you right now." He's like, "You need me."
Like that whole relation, and again, it makes me sad that we won't get a solo Ben Affleck. Yeah, like that whole relation. But they also the only thing I will say though. The only thing I will say
that Joker had killed Robin and everything like that too, and like it was great. Yeah,
it's true. He got some laser surgery to remove the tattoo before Apocalypse. Because I'm like, where'd it go? Mm-hmm. Well, not even just, but like all the tattoos on his body. It's like, why would you put? First of all, I don't believe Joker would sit still long enough to get a tattoo on his head.
Exactly.
But then why would he have damaged? Like it's like, come on, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But
they were trying to be too edgy.
Yeah, they definitely were. But I could have watched like a whole like extended scene between the Joker and Batman having a conversation. But the only thing I don't believe, though, the way they set up Ben Affleck's Batman for him to be a murderer and all, like he was murdering people in BVS.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't see this Batman not murdering the Joker.
The Joker said, he needed him for something.
I'm not talking about. I'm not even talking about in the Apocalypse scenario.
After he killed
yeah, I'm talking about.
But maybe that's what made him a murderer. We never really got to see his backstory, that Batman. So maybe after the Joker did that, then he became a murderer.
But even still, like he even if that's the case, like he didn't go after Joker after all this time because
maybe trauma, like in the future. Trauma or something. You never know.
I don't know, but I wish, because I know we're not going to get, because I know there's a hashtag and things like that going on the internet, like
restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah, restore the Snyderverse. But I'm like, it's not going to happen because
it's not going to happen. I was hoping that they already denied it from happening, but I would love to see that Nightmare universe from Snyder at least done in the comic with like the images used of the real people, like drawn as Ben Affleck, drawn as Jared Leto and stuff like that. And like maybe like a 5-issue thing. That'd be dope.
Because I was gonna say, even if Zack Snyder says he's willing to come back, even if Ben Affleck, who's not, he's Ben Affleck said he's done. Even if he said he's willing to come back, now you got to worry about the Ray Fisher problem. Ray Fisher said so long as Walter Hamada is the head of Warner Brothers or DC Pictures or whatever, and he's not coming back. And they're not highly doubt they're gonna fire him.
Hmm?
I was like,
they effectively fired Ray Fisher, like pretty much like, yeah, he's done. We're not, he's not employed here anymore.
Yeah, because Ray Fisher was supposed to be in the Flash movie, but instead they replaced him with Supergirl.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna get so like even if Zack Snyder and things like that come back, it's not gonna be the same movie unless they just recast Ray Fisher and be like, oh, we got a new Cyborg. Oh, he got a virus in his program, and that's why he looks like that's why he that's why he has a new face. So that kind of sucks. So it's like you're blue balling us.
Yeah, facts.
It's like
it was a tease.
You're giving us all this foreplay, but then you're not letting us come. So that's the thing I had a problem with that in the Snyder Cut. But how did you feel about the fact that the gods, like going back to the flashback, like did you like?
I don't know why that was taken out of the Whedon cut. I don't know why, but it was cool. That was cool. That entire fight, the guys, the Amazons, the fact that we get to see like the first Green Lantern of that sector 2814. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, you see Artemis. I don't think you saw Artemis in the Whedon cut.
Yeah.
And I do wish, and that's one thing again about the Wonder Woman movie. I don't like they killed all the gods off.
Yeah.
And they didn't let them because a lot of Wonder Woman's threats are not just Ares, but she fights against a lot of the gods, the Greek gods. Yeah, and so
my favorite Wonder Woman run is the Azarello one, and he did a lot of cool stuff with the gods.
Yeah, with Apollo.
He let Wonder Woman kill Ares and become the god of war. That was dope. Like, yeah, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, her dealing with Apollo, and then it makes it even more because that's her family, and now she has to deal with her family and fight her family. And they kind of touched on it once in the Wonder Woman movie where she was like, "Goodbye, brother," but it was kind of like a throwaway line, but it was like that should have had more weight to it. This is your first time meeting a family member, meeting a brother, and you got to kill him, and it's like dang, like I don't know, but I feel like it's hard to like go through because it's a 4-hour movie, and I'm like trying to remember everything that happened in the movie.
It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot, and I'm like, I don't want to like miss anything. You know what I thought about? That's like a great thing to touch on. That's another thing that I liked more in the Snyder Cut more than the Whedon Cut. Like, what the fuck was that in that final issue? Like, I'm reading the comic. That final moment in the Whedon Cut, like where they all came together. And we're fighting Darkseid and what looked like Chernobyl, and then like the color grading, how it looked like they were in hell. Like in the Whedon Cut, it looked all red and all weird, but then in the Snyder Cut, it looked great. And then you actually got to see them. You actually got to see them team up more in the Snyder Cut than in the Whedon Cut. Like even that shot that kind of reminds you of Age of Ultron, where they were all in front of the Batmobile, and the music was playing. Like all of that looked awesome. Like how did you feel about the differences in that final battle?
It was cool, but I think Snyder might have even done worse than Whedon when it came to Superman, like being so crazy, uber powerful.
Well, I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about before Superman even got there.
Okay, yeah, it was dope. The coloring, I could either way, but we got to see a lot more scenes with the team together, and that was dope. Yeah.
And yes, is this called Jehu? I completely agree. Daddy Zeus was soul. I was swole. I was like, hey, like Zeus, you need to come back and put some sparks in my electrocute me, Daddy. But yeah, I mean, I like that. Like the final, you got to see the Cyborg do like a fastball special with Aquaman, the Flash. Them teaming up, it was a lot of teamwork. It's stuff you didn't really get to see in the Whedon version. And then not only just that, but this is a much greater moment in the Snyder Cut than the Whedon version. But like, I'm so glad they took out those fucking Russians, that random Russian family that Flash had to save.
Yeah, you didn't need that because they put the Iris West scene in there. So
yeah, but it was so stupid.
Yeah,
but then they made the Flash more better, and there was a callback to like Flashpoint and things like that, where Cyborg or the Flash ended up getting injured. Yeah, and so he wasn't able to get do his Speed Force thing on time because Cyborg got interrupted by Steppenwolf and all that other stuff, and so because of that, they technically lost.
Yeah, they lost, and Flash had to fix it.
Yeah, Flash had to fix it, and it was like, gotta run fast, Barry. Like the way that was all shot, and like again, like reminded you of Flashpoint. All that shit looked epic, and having him bring everybody back, and how you saw Superman was disintegrated, and Superman coming back, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, all of them coming back, and then he touches Cyborg, and then they win. Like that shit had me hyped.
That part was dope. You're right. That part was dope. I might go back and just watch that part.
Like that part was hella dope. And then with the music, like honestly, because I wasn't excited about a Flashpoint movie, but that moment right there made me go, okay, if I could get this from Flashpoint, I'll be a little bit more.
Yeah. This was a pretty okay movie, like overall. Like the only thing that makes it bad is that we saw, the Whedon version first, and the fact that it was for.
But I would say because of the granted, we can't change what happened, but
yeah.
And it sucks about the death of the suicide of his daughter and everything like that. Hashtag for Autumn. Mm-hmm. But considering the way things went, I'm actually glad it went the way they went because I mean, like I said, he wouldn't have been able to do this movie, but for getting the Whedon version and everything that happened with everything like that. So I'm actually glad we get the comparison of seeing what we got, like kind of like Drake started from the bottom. Now we're here. Like this movie is far superior.
Yeah, definitely
to the Whedon version. So because of that, it's like, granted, I don't know. Like if we got this version originally, would I have liked it as much? I don't know. But I do like this movie way better than BVS.
Well, I think BVS is the worst movie ever, so it's not really.
I don't dislike Man. I don't dislike Man of Steel. I don't love Man. I don't love Man of Steel. All right, but I hate BVS. Yeah. But I think Man of Steel is okay. The only thing about Man of Steel that I don't like is just how they made treated Superman. Like,
yeah, they didn't make us love him.
Yeah, they're not only
the people's champ.
And then not only just that, but like I don't like his depiction of Jonathan Kent. Like Jonathan Kent was like asshole. Superman gets his morality from his father.
Yeah, and his father was like, "Fuck these people."
Yeah, that moment when he was like, "You shouldn't have saved them, Clark." Like the bus, he was like, "Should I let them die?" And he was like, "Maybe." I was like, "What the fuck?" Or even the moment where they had Jonathan Kent die from the tornado.
Yeah, and
he held his hand, and that's supposed to be a powerful moment. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like what makes Superman is like, despite his powers or whatever, despite being a god, he still can't save his father from dying of a heart attack. So it teaches Clark at a very early age that like you can't do it, like you can't, like it humanizes him, like you're not able to do everything. So it makes him say, like, because of that, I know I'm going to work as hard as I can to try to do what I can do.
Exactly. And the 40-year-old movie did that better than Zack Snyder did.
Yeah. So like having his father die from a tornado, it's like, I didn't like that moment because it's like Superman is fast enough that he could have saved his father without anybody knowing.
Yeah.
And then plus taking it from a queer angle. Granted, I know Superman's not queer, but just taking it from that perspective, you're like, his father was so gung-ho about hiding who his son was, even to the detriment of other people possibly dying because of it. Yeah. And Superman couldn't come out until his father died because his father wasn't okay with who he was. And it's like, that's not the story of Superman, though. Jonathan Kent's not like Jonathan Kent was about embracing who you are and all the other stuff, pushing. He's the reason that Superman became Superman because of the ideals.
The problem is Zack Snyder doesn't really understand a lot of comics. He just sees the images and he's like, oh, that's cool. It's like dude bro comics, dude bro movies.
Yeah. Zod alone carried that film. I mean, Zod. Yeah,
and I didn't like him as Zod
was great.
He actually was great, but like when they cast him, I was like, this guy's not an intimidating guy, but he's such a great actor that he did carry the film.
But Zod was great, and I did like that. I did like Zod, but I'm just saying in terms of like the portrayal of Superman, I didn't. And granted, I thought the opening of Man of Steel and the things they did in Krypton, that's like the best. That was like the best Krypton depiction and opening that you've ever seen in any type of movie. So it's not to say Man of Steel didn't have great moments. It's just the characterizations of both Superman and especially Jonathan Kent, I just wasn't a big fan of
at all. Superman stole somebody's clothes.
Pretty much.
You're not about that life.
But I mean, we've been going for like an hour and a half, and I don't know if there's I don't think there's anything else that really stood out.
Like I said, the cinematography was really good. That's what he's good at. He's really good at it. That scene where Flash breaks the glass with the two fingers, that was really dope too. That image sticks in my head.
That was a great moment.
Yeah,
seeing that. But every time I think about that scene, I think about the hair.
Yeah.
Flipping the hair back, and I'm like
arresting her. She can't. There's no.
Yeah, like Barry, you don't know this girl. Like,
I know. Yeah, kind of half-second flirted, but there's no. Yeah.
But then even with her, like giving her like with her staring at him, looking like Nala from Lion King, like giving her the fuck me eyes.
Yeah, I mean that happens on the street all the time, bro. Stop playing.
Does it? Okay. Yeah. It doesn't. I was gonna say it don't happen to me, so I don't. Maybe I need somebody to give me some fuck me eyes because it's been a year. Last March really is the last time for me. So, Anybody in the chat want to give me some fuck me odds? Hit me up on Instagram. Let me stop if I get somebody flag me with like sexual harassment. I'm not sexually harassing a specific person. It's an invitation. It's an invitation. Slide in my DMs.
Oh God. And why? But also, why didn't he stop that accident before it even happened?
I mean, he could have.
Yeah.
But, I mean, first of all, that guy, and it's a trope in film, but I'm like, who's driving in the middle of a road?
Yeah.
Not looking at the street because they dropped a burger. I'd at least like pull to the side of the road or at least wait till I get to a red light to be like,
yeah.
But because it wasn't like he was driving on like a deserted street or he was driving at night.
Yeah, they were in the city. Yeah. You know, you could easily hit somebody. Like,
because sometimes if I'm driving like at night and there's nobody around me, I'll like, text them off because I know there's nobody in front of me, there's nobody behind me. So I'll be like this real quick or whatever. But I'm not like driving in the city, Central City, which is like a major metropolis city during the day, not looking at the, driving and trying to grab a freaking burger. I was like, his ass, speaking of need to go to jail, his ass need to go to jail.
Yeah, for real. He probably is though.
But he could have stopped it, but I mean, I guess he wasn't paying. He was busy paying attention to trying to get a job.
Oh yeah, and then like the last scene, the dark side scene, like they couldn't hurt Superman. Why didn't Superman just jump through that portal and beat Darkseid with one punch and end the whole DCEU?
But nah, they got to get that superhero stare. Like
why? He can't beat them. He can't beat Superman. Superman can solo everybody. Everybody else could join Darkseid, and Superman would still win.
Yeah, based on what they showed in the movie, because Darkseid, granted, they've had Superman beat Darkseid countless times, but
in the 90s, which made no sense.
Yeah, because I was gonna say Darkseid should technically be undefeatable. Like
exactly, and that's what makes Thanos such a better character than Darkseid in the comics. Even though Darkseid should be better, the original Darkseid was dope. He beat up Superman and Supergirl at the same time. But like when you go to like the post-crisis era, like the 90s, late 80s, 90s Superman. He was just beating the mess out of Darkseid left and right. Like it didn't matter. Like it seemed like the Justice League was there for no reason.
I mean, they had Doomsday beat up Darkseid in the comics at one point, which is not.
Yeah. Now in the New 52, he's kind of back to like but
Yeah.
Now got a lot of disrespect.
Like Darkseid is a super, like he's an multiversal being. Like there's only one Darkseid in the multiverse.
Yeah, multiversal threat. Yeah, it should be like,
So there's no way Superman shouldn't be able to beat him by himself.
There's a lot of bad Superman writing out there.
So yeah, like
a lot of people don't like him.
Yeah, like so the way they've written him and more so in the Snyderverse, like they made like that axe that Steppenwolf pulled on, that should at least hurt him.
Yeah, at least cut him. Even if he ate it and just like you know?
Like even if it was just like or like he did this, it was just like
you can't hurt me.
Yeah, that's like if I do this to myself right now, it's like I'm not bothered by it. Yeah. It's like, come on now, that axe was like. Yeah. And then he's like unimpressed. I'm like, damn, Superman should not be that fucking powerful.
Yeah.
Why do you need the Justice
that's not
League?
the way he would talk smack either. Unimpressed. That sounds like Mortal Kombat. Like
finish him.
Yeah.
But so I mean, granted, we're not gonna get more Superman, but hopefully if we do get more Superman in the future, they do give him like they don't make him as powerful. Because even when you get to
they done messed up. They let Captain America become more popular than Superman, and that as a child of the 90s, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. Like Superman is like the iconic superhero. Like
He's
Superman
not anymore. First of all, the most
Superman
popular
and Spider-Man
right now is Spider-Man, and then Superman's probably down the list.
But in terms of name recognition, Superman is like number one.
Oh yeah, that's just because of merchandise and stuff still, but
But the gamer in me thought Superman had a buff effect after being resurrected. But I mean, but he shouldn't. Like if when you get to the comics, the reason he wore the black suit is because he was weak.
Yeah, he should have been nerfed actually, and that would have been a greater moment with them working together to win because he would have actually needed them,
But in this, he didn't. It's like I don't need y'all motherfuckers at all. Like go do something. Yeah. Let me take care of Steppenwolf real quick.
Yeah, and as a comic book guy, like people like to say Zack Snyder's a comic book guy. He's not. Joss Whedon actually is a comic book guy. He's written comics. He should have known better. If he's going to change anything about Zack Snyder's film, he should have changed that part about Superman coming back and just being able to, whoop everybody that easy. He should have fixed that part.
But I guess maybe because, we're already at, because, you only got 2 hours. So maybe he's just like, all right, I need to wrap it up. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I wish that's the one thing I wish you would have seen more teamwork with the Justice League. And once Superman showed up, because once Superman showed up, it was like the battle was over. But it is what it is. So hopefully we get, if they do end up, even if they reboot the Justice League and do another, without the being the Snyderverse, and they end up doing another Superman movie, hopefully they don't make him as powerful as he is. Yeah, and that's as somebody who hated Superman in the comics for a long time until I read All-Star Superman. If you hate Superman, read All-Star Superman. It's great. That was something great about the DC animated universe. Like, Superman was powerful, and he got more powerful when the situation deemed it. But he got hurt. He got he got his ass beat. That's the thing I liked about that. That's what. Granted, I didn't like it as much as Public Enemies, but the Superman Batman Apocalypse movie. Mm-hmm. Where him and Supergirl were fighting Darkseid.
Exactly.
And they were both getting fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
And Superman eventually won that fight, but he didn't win because he overpowered Darkseid. He was just strong enough to be able to knock him back into the mother box. He ended up knocking him back into Apocalypse and then destroyed the mother box, so Darkseid couldn't get back. But he didn't actually win that fight. Like, exactly. if he didn't knock him into that portal, Darkseid would have fucked him up.
Yeah, and Darkseid's supposed to be a big threat,
Yeah.
If you make Superman be able to just beat him, then what's the point of having these movies? What's the point of having these comics? Like, Superman should be the only superhero in the universe.
Pretty much. Like, even like somebody like you get to Martian Manhunter. Like, Martian Manhunter on paper should be stronger, but they don't give him that respect. But both in comics and in this movie, they don't give him that respect.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just want to see more. I just want to see these other characters get the respect. Put some respect on my man's name. Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, the Green Lantern. Even that Green Lantern. Granted, he's not like Hal Jordan or John Stewart, but even he got washed pretty quick.
Real quick, fast.
Real quick. Like, the Green Lantern ring is like the most powerful weapon in the universe, but you can't tell that from that moment.
Yeah.
But I still really enjoyed the movie.
I would have loved to see Granny Goodness in the Furies. That'd have been dope too.
Well, I think we saw Granny Goodness
a little bit. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, a little bit, but they didn't really. Yeah, but I mean, I think they were saving them for part 2, and then also we don't know what supposedly Ava DuVernay is doing a New Gods movie, so
maybe we'll see them then. Yeah,
yeah, we definitely got to see them in that one. So hopefully, they put some respect on Darkseid's name compared to this movie. But then it also makes me curious of what they're doing, because I'm like, we're getting a New Gods movie, but then we're not getting any more with Superman or anything like that. So then what are we doing?
Maybe New Gods will make a new continuity or something, or one of these movies have to establish a new continuity, either the Pattinson movie or her movie, or something's going to happen.
Supposedly they're saying Flashpoint is supposed to be the thing that reboots.
That would make sense.
But I'm like, you don't even need Flashpoint. Just reboot it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and I'm like, I think DC should take the opposite approach of Marvel, where Marvel, you got an Iron Man movie, then a Captain America movie, a Thor movie, and then eventually you got the Avengers. Honestly, I think just start with Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Start with Justice League, and then give them their own solo movies. Like, say these characters were established already as heroes.
Yeah, you could do that
in the world, and then eventually you show them their solo movies. Because the thing that DC has over Marvel is, a lot of these characters have the name recognition.
Yeah, but the thing DC has too is, like, I don't know if they're gonna do a whole new universe when they still want to do Aquaman, they still want to do Wonder Woman. So they don't want to recast these roles, but they're pretty much done with their Batman and their Superman.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess incorporate them into the new.
I don't know. They don't know what they're doing. They need to just sell it.
No, they don't know what they're doing. But I mean, for this particular movie, Zack Snyder didn't know what he was doing. So yeah, I did enjoy this movie. So
I did too.
Far superior than the original. So yeah, that's all for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But let me see if there's anything in the chat that maybe I missed real quick. No, I don't see any more. I don't see any more super chats, anything like that. But yeah, that's all we got in the chat. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
For this spoiler review for Justice League. For me next week, be on the lookout for my review for Invincible that should be dropping next week. I didn't get a screener. I didn't get a screener for it. I believe it comes out on Friday. What day is it? I think the 28th. No,
25th. 26th is Friday.
I don't know what day. I know it comes out. Let me look real quick.
26th is Friday.
Invincible release date.
Invincible is the greatest superhero story of all
time.
time.
Yeah, it comes out on the 26th.
Greatest superhero story of all time.
Yeah, depending on what time or whatever that comes out, look out for that. That'll be my next review dropping. I didn't get a screener for that, so I got to watch it like the rest of you.
Did you finish the first 12 issues?
No, I'm gonna read them this. I'm gonna read them this week.
Do.
So, I know they said that the end of the first episode is like because I watched somebody's non-spoiler review for the first episode. So they said, "Oh yeah, the end of the first episode is a big twist or whatever." So I'm like, I don't know.
Twist. I mean, I read it already. But yeah, I guess that twist is going to be.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about the end of the first episode. So I don't know how they're going to work it between the comics.
Yeah, how many episodes is it? One episode might be like 6 comics or something like that.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know how that's going to work. So yeah, I'm gonna try to read like the first 12 issues or whatever before. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. That'll drop maybe Friday or Saturday, depending on when Amazon actually drops the episode. And because I think they're dropping 3 episodes, so depending on that, I don't know. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. And then also the next review for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So yes, but I appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't hit that like button, and I will see you next week. Ciao.